What's up, fellow collectors? Welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. I'll be your curator today. Guys, it's been a long time coming, but we have another fantastic issue of Vampirella. Vampirella, guys, is one of my absolute favorite horror comic magazines ever. I had these beautiful horror comic magazines when I was a kid and became immediately hooked with the art, these stories, everything that revolves around Vampirella, and all of the fantastic artists and writers that has worked on these books. And today we have, for your viewing pleasure, Vampirella issue number 38, all the way from 1974. You see Vampirella is involved in another adventure of the strange and the macabre. And let's get this started for you here. Sit this here, slide this over. Guys, I am cracking open this book for the first time along with you. I enjoy the read-alongs. Once again, I can't say enough about the artwork. Absolutely gorgeous. And here's something. Oh, look at this. Get your blown out look here, the cover. You can't, this is not really showing up fantastic on here, but this paper right here, this cover right here is a tint. It's like a reddish tint. I wonder if that's throughout the entire book. Here's our front cover here. All the fantastic artists that worked on this book. Jose Gonzalez is one of my absolute favorite artists of all time. 1974. And here's our table of contents. See what type of awesome. Where's our story at here? Oh, page number 7. The Mummy's Revenge. The dead are restless. Deep in the ancient underground crypt, they stir. They rise and attack their victim, a beautiful vampiress. We're going to check that out. We'll look at all of the fantastic stories. And like I've said this before in the past about these beautiful large horror comic magazines, you get the entire story all in one reading. You didn't have to wait a month or bi-monthly to get these the endings of these stories. It's fantastic. We got this beautiful Vampirella horror comic magazine from our good friends at Anthony's Comics. It's an eBay website store where you can purchase anything from Anthony's Comics. He has it all. Absolutely, positively has it all. Gonzalo Mayo is another one. Fantastic artist. And here's our main story for Vampirella. Guys, get you a good cup of coffee or whatever beverage you enjoy drinking and take in all of this fantastic 1974 horror comic magazine goodness. Tells you here, it sets the story up for you. The Mummy's Revenge. They had me at, well, they had me at Vampirella, but they really had me at Mummy. Fantastic. These are the stories at night when the house is quiet, everybody's asleep. I'll put a pot of coffee on, get into my favorite chair, recliner, have my reading light on, and just travel back in time. And it's so easy to do with these beautiful horror comic magazines. The smell of these books. Yes, guys, I enjoy the smell of these books. Smells like 1974. This book is in fantastic condition. It's a 7.0. It was graded out as a 7.0. And for you guys that aren't into the grading scales, that's pretty good. It's extremely fair. Not much damage to this book. And it's from 1974. Guys, I give you I'm aging myself here, but I was 4 years old in 1974. When this book came out, I was 4 years old. And no, guys, I did not have the book in 1974. I think in 1979 or 1980, I got this book. Vampirella always seems to get herself into a lot of difficult and peculiar situations. But it makes for fantastic reading. Combined with the artwork. Absolutely stunning. Try to do panel for panel so you guys can pause the video if you want to catch up on reading. Like I said, I've had a lot of subscribers tell me in the past that this is how they read the books, by looking at our videos. So we're very mindful of that here at the museum. Comic books was practically my first love because it was very inexpensive for my parents to purchase. So they would buy us comic books. My brothers and I, my sisters. It was cheap. And having the awesome imagination that I had as a kid, it allowed me to really escape into different worlds. Vampy's in distress here. This creature's alive. I'm with you, Vampy. It's time to get out of there. But run to where? She stops, then sees more of the walking dead rising from their crypts. Coming for her. It's a nightmare. Yes, it is. Now look back. I'm happy that my dad got these books for us. I had to be very young at the time to own these books. My brother's a little bit older than me. Didn't make a difference. I was reading them anyway. And fast forward 40 years later, I'm collecting these books in pristine condition as museum relics and artifacts. Somebody wanted to know how often do I read my Vampirella comics. The answer to that is not very often. Not very often. Maybe once or twice every 4 or 5 months. I have so many issues now. So it's very rare that I read them a ton. I don't like handling them too often. And a lot of that's due to, the sweat from your hands, the acid from your fingertips, all of that on this older paper material, you know. So I don't handle it as much. With everything in my museum, I want in pristine condition. So my comic books are no exception. I want them in pristine, fantastic condition as well. As we see, Vampy is she's not no one defeats Vampy. And the bloodlust is quenched. It's fantastic. Now, what I'll do, what I always do after shooting a Vampirella video later in the evening when I have time, when I'm by myself, everybody's asleep in the house, I'll read the book because I'm generally getting the book for the first time. So I like to reread a lot of the stories after doing the editing and looking at the video, the cross reference to make sure everything's perfect for the video. I'll go back and check some of the chapters from the horror comic magazine just to see some of the great stories in there. The Gypsy Curse. I've said this a million times. The black and white artwork is absolutely gorgeous. It's just it's beautiful. I prefer it. I prefer it over color. That's just me. Guys, what do you think? Do you have any Vampirella horror comic magazines? Let us know in the comment section right underneath this video. We would like to hear all of that. I can't say enough about the artwork, though. The artwork is timeless. It can hold its own against any artwork or any comic book right now of 2020. You just don't see this. And I know they're trying to bring the retro books out, like the Creepy and Creeps and all of that. And they're using a lot of the old artists that worked on the original books. Nothing beats the originals. Fantastic work. See, these stories, as you can see, nothing was left to the imagination. Censorship was frowned upon back then. See, this is a story right here that I need the Gypsy Curse. This is one that I'll read later. These beautiful books, horror comic magazines, you never know what you get from them once you crack one open and start reading. They are very addictive. Fantastic. New story here. The Lucky Stiff. They're not being very nice. This artwork is just fantastic. The stories were extremely compelling. And this young lady's really putting the moves on them, on poor Harry here. He's paying her a visit. He hates cats. Fantastic. Is he dying because he was a nice guy? Oh wow. Out of the Nameless City. Story, guys, after fantastic story. This is a large book. It has a ton of stories in it. And this, like I said, you get what you pay for with these beautiful books. I'm gonna flip ahead a little bit here. But you really do, you get what you pay for. More than what you pay for. He's been shot there. Guys, your thoughts, your opinions. What more books would you like to see us preview and review and do videos on and share with you guys? Let us know in the comment section. You know, we've done a few creepies and a few psychos, Vampirella, some other comic books. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you want. We'd like to hear all of that, guys. Right underneath this video in a comment section. Vampirella is by far one of our more popular horror comic magazines here in the museum. We started doing videos and reviews on Vampirella all the way back in 2018. And it was such a hit with subscribers. We didn't know what to think. We didn't know how that would go over because, you know, we're an action figure museum. But I collect everything from my childhood. So comic books had a big place in my childhood. So it was a no-brainer to start incorporating and adding comic books to our museum. Anything that brings back those fantastic memories of my childhood. And comic books were absolutely was a big part of my childhood and my adulthood. So we just didn't know how Vampirella would be received, you know, with the first video. And the first video was a smash hit. Everyone loved it. And we've been doing it ever since. So Vampirella is a staple here at the museum now. And we try to do a Vampirella comic book video, horror comic magazine video, maybe once or twice a month if we're lucky, because these books are so difficult to obtain in fantastic condition. So I try to be, I'm very particular. Oh, this poor dog. Poison claws. This is a very interesting story. See, these are the stories I need to really check out and watch. So we'll be definitely viewing these later on tonight. I'll be checking these out again. This cat is on a killing spree here. I'm curious to see what's happening with this story. Beautiful artwork. This is just, like I said, the stories alone, I can just sit back and read over and over and over again. Medusa? Yeah, so much, guys. Somebody wanted to see the oh, this is gonna be another good one right here. This is gonna be another great one. The artwork is dictating that already. Here's the back issues. It's fun looking at these back issues because, you know, I have most of them now. And believe it or not, I have a long way to go to say I have most of them. But just looking at here, I can see a lot of the ones I do have already, which is cool. That's awesome. A Vampirella action figure. We're going to be definitely getting a Vampirella action figure, so stay tuned for that. I love all of the advertisements inside of these beautiful horror comic magazines. The Shadow, Racketeer, Spicy Adventure Stories. Fantastic. More and more. There's Zorro. Oh, is that Mr. Spock? Plastic models. Fantastic. Klingon battle, the Klingon battle cruiser. You name it. Here's something fun. M.I.B figures. How cool is that? All you M.I.B fans out there. You never know what you're going to find in these books. That's fantastic. It's an order form. I remember these old order forms. Set it up here, prop it up against this. Guys, I'd like to thank you for hanging out with us, checking this out, this fantastic Vampirella book out with us. You know the routine, guys. God bless. And keep collecting.